back here again with another Vinyl Finds video. It's been a while since I've done another one of these. It seems like I've been kind of slacking, but just haven't really been buying too many albums, or at least not buying. I've been spending the same amount of money on albums, just not been buying large quantities of them. But I am back, and I can honestly say that one of the records I'm going to show is one of the albums that I've just been wanting to get for a long time. Probably top 3 on my want list, and I'm definitely going to save that one for last, because that's probably, in my opinion, save the best for last. But starting off, I'm just going to kind of, because obviously last Friday was Black Friday, Record Store Day, and there wasn't really too many albums I wanted this year. I usually want to get the Grateful Dead albums when they come out, and they didn't have anything that actually came out on Record Store Day this year, so I didn't have to get any of those. And the one album that I did want was the 20th anniversary of Garbage, which I was actually able to get. And I was definitely psyched that I was able to actually pick this up. And this is an album that I've been wanting to purchase since I found out that they were reissuing it on vinyl for the 20th anniversary. And it just seemed like they kept pushing it back and pushing the date back, and finally it was announced that it was going to come out for Black Friday Record Store Day. And I actually think this album in particular came out overseas last month, and I don't know why they just didn't release it here, but according to the Record Store Day website, they only pressed 2,000 copies, but I would not be surprised if they just come out with like a normal black vinyl version, because there is no like number or anything on the back that says it's limited to anything, but it is on pink vinyl. And this one does play on 45 speed, and it does not also say that anywhere on the records or on the cover or anything. I just kind of found that out when I put it in, kind of in for a surprise when you put it on 33 RPM, and it sounds nothing like the actual CD, so I didn't kind of realize that you have to put it on 45, but it does, overall what I've heard of it, I haven't been able to listen to the entire thing yet. It does sound pretty good though, and definitely glad I was able to pick that up. Definitely sure it beats spending the $100 and some plus that the original one goes for online, but I think that was the only actual record that I bought on Black Friday Record Store Day, but I did buy a couple other records. I went to the Vinyl Rescue Project in Greenwood, Indiana. It's the only record store I went to that day, but he was having a 20% off sale as well, so I did pick up 2 other albums while I was in there. And the first one is No Doy, the one that originally came out with in 1996, and this is their 3rd album overall, but their first major label album. And apparently this one is only 1,000 copies is what they only came out with on this one. It's number 908 of 1,000. And the cool thing about this one is it's a 2 LP set, and both discs are on colored vinyl. The first one being this yellow vinyl, and the second one being this purple vinyl. But definitely I was happy to pick up that one and get 20% off of the Mo album there. And I did pick up one more while I was in there, and it was the Offspring's first album. This is a 1995 reissue of their first album that originally came out with in 1989. I'd eventually love to actually find a 1989 original copy, because I really like the cover artwork on the 1989 album, and that they changed on the reissue. But nonetheless, definitely psyched to have it, and just another one to add to the Offspring collection. And I honestly believe they actually reissued this in 1985 because of the success that Smash had at the time, but definitely was glad I was able to pick that one up and also get 20% off on that one. But that's all the actual records that I picked up on Record Store Day. And I did pick up another album at the Vinyl Rescue Project. I probably picked this up, I'll probably say about a week or so before Record Store Day, and it's L7. They're an original 1992 copy of Bricks Are Heavy. Just really psyched to find this one in there as well. Just just this album altogether, just a solid album. I love the song "Pretend We're Dead," which is the big hit off of this album, and I think that song was on a Grand Theft Auto game. So I'm sure even if you're not familiar with L7, you've probably heard that song before, but I think that's all the albums that I actually picked up throughout the last couple of weeks at the Vinyl Rescue Project. But I did go to Barnes & Noble, and I don't go to Barnes & Noble very often, but I went in there about a month or so ago with my dad, and he was telling me that they had records in there now. So I went in there and was looking through some, and ended up picking up the Verve, the 2008 reissue of this, and loved the song Bittersweet Symphony. So I figured I had to pick that one up on vinyl, but nothing really too special. Barnes & Noble, their prices are definitely hit or miss, especially on their CDs. Their CDs are just like almost as much as the records. I don't know how what they're thinking on that one, but definitely not the best place to pick up music. But the vinyl records there weren't really too badly priced. But that's all I got there. It's nothing really too special. But about a week or so ago, I did go to Irvington Vinyl. And I'm sure if you follow Corey, and if you're watching my videos, you're more than likely watching his videos. And you actually do appreciate the shout out he gave me about a week or so ago. And definitely appreciate it. And that was definitely cool meeting up with Corey and browsing around the record store with him, and actually getting kind of like a behind the scenes look on how he shoots his record stores across America, and see him get the interview with the owner of the store, Rick. Just a cool, overall just a cool day. Definitely recommend checking out the video of record stores across America. He actually just put the Irvington one up, I think just about a week or so ago, and definitely recommend checking that out. I'll actually probably put the link below on this video for you can check out that one, because Irvington's a really cool store, and he definitely does a good job capturing and doing the interview with the owner of Irvington. It's just a really neat store for sure. But I did pick up a couple albums at Irvington while I was there, and the first one being another Moe album. And again, I had no idea this came out until I just found it in the new section. It's their first album that they ever came out with, Fat Boy. It originally came out in 1992, and I think they just issued it originally on cassette. Only issued like 1,000 copies of it on cassette, and then later on in like 1999 when they got bigger, they reissued it on CD. But great album from Moe. And this one is limited to 3,000 copies, and I actually have number 1,523 out of 3,000. You can see it numbered on the back there. And I believe the different company did this reissue than they did some of the other Moe reissues. I don't know why, but definitely still cool to have. Always loved listening to earlier Moe albums, but did pick up this one as well at Irvington Vinyl. It's Dinosaur Jr., Where You Been. This is an original 1993 copy. And again, just a solid album from Dinosaur Jr. It's one that they've had at Irvington Vinyl for a while. I remember seeing it back there when I first went in there, and just always found other things that I wanted to buy, so I always kind of put this one back. But they still had it there, so I guess it was meant to be, so I picked it up, and finally got that one. But that's all I got at Irvington Vinyl. But it was definitely a really just cool day, getting to hang out with Corey for a little while, and everything. That whole day was definitely pretty cool though. But did get a couple albums at Half Price Books, and actually the first one album I'm going to show is not even a vinyl; it's actually a cassette. But I usually don't like showing cassettes, but this one I'm going to definitely make an exception on, because it's definitely worth it, because this was 40 cents, and I honestly couldn't believe that I had it in there. And it's the Melvins Houdini on cassette. It's one of those albums that I would always love to own. It's just always so expensive. Like Irvington Vinyl had this on vinyl, and it was like $150, so a little too pricey for me, but it is on this yellow cassette. Definitely couldn't believe they had this for 40 cents though, so I definitely had to share that I picked the Houdini up on cassette at Half Price Books for 40 cents. Some of the prices just honestly amaze me. Two more albums that I got at Half Price Books. The first one is just a 12-inch single from Metallica, or Wherever I May Roam. Just has like 3 songs on here. The first side just has the studio version of Wherever I May Roam, and the second side has a couple like mashup of live songs. And then it also does have a demo version of Wherever I May Roam, which was apparently recorded in Lars's basement on August 13th, 1990. It's definitely cool to hear that. I mean, the Black Album is an album that I would definitely like to eventually own an original copy of, and they actually had it at Irvington Vinyl, and they've had it there for a while, but again, it was like $150, so a little bit out of my price range, but nonetheless, I was definitely happy to find the 12-inch single of Wherever I May Roam, which is probably one of my favorite songs off the album anyway, but definitely cool to find this one, and it is a UK copy as well. And it's got 2 more albums to show here. The first one, this is the last album I actually picked up at Half Price Books, and it's one that I've been meaning to get for a while on vinyl, and it's Pearl Jam's newest album, Lightning Bolt, that came out in 2013. And just one of those albums I just never really wanted to pay full price for. Just one of those Pearl Jam albums that I mean, it's not terrible, it's not really bad. I mean, I have the CD actually just right behind me, but just one that I just didn't think it was I don't know, not really worth $40 to me. It's kind of one that I wanted to wait to get cheaper, and Half Price Books had it for like half the price, and then on top of that they're having 30% off, so I ended up getting it for $12. And I mean, Pearl Jam, one of my favorite bands, so I definitely wanted to pick it up, and there's a lot of really good songs on this album. But definitely, I don't, in my opinion, not the best Pearl Jam album, but it is a pretty good album, one that I did want to pick up, and was glad that I was able to pick it up for like $12. I mean, I would like to eventually get all their albums, so although it's definitely going to be difficult, but I did say at the beginning of the video that one of the albums that I did pick up was one of the top 3 albums that I've had on my want list for probably the last couple of years, and kind of goes along with the Pearl Jam theme, because it is Pearl Jam No Code. I'm super psyched to own this on vinyl. It's just one of those albums that I never thought in a million years that I'd actually own and be able to own on vinyl. And just easily my favorite Pearl Jam album. If I had to pick one Pearl Jam album, which is honestly difficult because they have so many just great albums, this one's probably just my favorite overall. Just so many different styles on this album. Just everything about it. I love the cover artwork. With all the hundreds of different Polaroids that I have on it. And this album's honestly, this whole cover is honestly massive. It folds out to like a full 4-panel set, if you can see that. So it's definitely a massive cover. Definitely bigger than a normal record album cover. But definitely psyched to own this one. And it's in just great shape, and definitely probably one of the most expensive albums that I've ever purchased, but I would definitely say that I did get it a lot cheaper than what it normally goes for online, so that's definitely a plus, but one that I definitely was kind of hard to pull the trigger on, but just a great shape. It has the original sleeves with it, and obviously if you are familiar with No Code, they had 4 different sets with different Polaroid images in it. They had a C set, an O set, a D set, and an E set. The particular copy that I have has the D set of the Polaroids and has all the Polaroids in there. And it's definitely cool. The record version has obviously a lot bigger of the Polaroids than the CD version, but definitely super psyched to own this album on vinyl. It's one of those things that it's still hard for me to think that I actually finally own that one. That was definitely a huge check off the want list. There's still several Pearl Jam albums that I would like to eventually own, but Pearl Jam albums, especially original Pearl Jam albums, are very pricey, especially some of their later ones from like 96 up to 2006. All of them are hundreds of dollars, but definitely a huge one to check off my want list on this one. Just probably my favorite buy of the entire year, my favorite find of the entire year is definitely this Pearl Jam No Code album. Super psyched to actually own this album, but I think that's all the albums I have to show. Anyway, again, guys, thanks for watching. Definitely super psyched to find all those albums, especially the Pearl Jam No Code. Thanks again, guys, for watching.